two of the biggest VR games of the year just got gameplay trailers, Behemoth and Alien Incursion. Keep in mind that both of these are PSVR 2 trailers, but it is coming to all other platforms, including Quest. Let's start off with Alien Incursion. Out of the two of these games, this is the one I'm less excited for, mostly just because I'm terrified to actually play it. I'm a wuss when it comes to horror games, and this looks like it could be actually horrifying. This is more of a teaser than it is a trailer, so it's not going to show a whole bunch, but we'll talk about what it shows anyways. If you've ever heard of Alien Isolation, which you probably have if you're a fan of the Alien games, the Mother mod actually adds in VR support to the game, although it does use a controller and it's not designed for VR with interactions and such. This game has the potential to take what that does and how absolutely mind-numbingly terrifying that is and bring it fully into VR with VR interactions. Now, the developer behind this is Survios. Some of their more famous games are games like Creed, or their other game was The Walking Dead. I can't remember what the name of it was now. It was not great. It was actually based on The Walking Dead TV show, not the comic series or that world. So it was using the actual actors from the TV show, which in theory should have been really good, but the game just, to me, was lackluster. So I'm hoping that this game will be fantastic, but I'm reserving the right to pass judgment or get excited until I actually play it, just because the last game that we saw from them that was a franchise game like this was just okay. It was actually, in comparison to The Walking Dead Saints and Sinners, it was very lackluster. So I'm reserving myself in excitement. Overall, though, the trailer looks pretty good. There's frame drops in both of these trailers. There's some hitching and, you can tell that the capture wasn't great. Unfortunately, with PlayStation VR 2, for some reason, I tend to get that when I record in PSVR 2 anyway, so I don't know if this was actually natively recorded the way that we would record, and that's why you're getting some of that. Who knows? I'm sure it'll be worked out by the time that it actually gets to release. I'm more curious to actually see Quest footage in this because it's one of the first Quest 3 exclusives. So I want to see how it looks. Like in this video, you're seeing how dark the environments look and how, much the flashlight lights it up and how creepy it's going to be. On Quest tends to be less dark, not because of the screens being LCD instead of OLED, which does mean that it's not full dark, but because it's harder for the Quest to handle real darkness with real light because it's a lot more taxing. But I'm hoping, because of what we saw in Red Matter 2, the demo for the Quest 3, how incredible the lighting and stuff looked in that, and even on Quest 2 as well, it actually worked really good on Quest 2 and Red Matter 2. I'm hoping that we're going to get the quality of that light because that would be incredible if we could actually get the real true black inky darkness and a real flashlight light in this game, because it's going to kind of be required, right, to be creepy. If you want the xenomorphs to actually be scary, which I don't, that's actually been a comfort for me on the Quest in horror games in the past, not having full blackness. You could actually see outlines of things. It's still creepy, but not quite as creepy. I hope that we get that better quality lighting system in this game. We'll have to wait and see how it looks. It'll probably be better to play it, obviously, on PSVR 2 and PC VR when it comes to lighting and visuals, but the Quest 3 has the potential to be really good, and I hope that it delivers on that. You're seeing interactions in this game already, or a little bit anyways. The movement of the gun, the scanner in the hand, the character's heading over to a computer system, it looks like, in some of the shots. Overall, it looks really creepy, terrifying, in fact, and I'm not sure I want a xenomorph to grab me. Running away from things terrifies me, and that is what you're going to do in this. You run and hide from xenomorphs. You don't fight them. I mean, you can, but who in their right mind is going to head towards a xenomorph? I'd be heading in the other direction, especially with the face huggers. This is going to be a terrifying game, I hope, so that those that love Alien will actually buy a headset to play this. And which headset are they going to buy? Probably a Quest, because Quest is the most affordable way to do it. Even if you're going to get the Quest 3 or the Quest 3S, which, speaking of which, today we had official confirmation of sorts because the Quest 3S actually showed up in a listing for a new game in the coming soon section. So there you go. Quest 3S is the title, it would seem, and it is coming. That's more official confirmation, but back to this other stuff here. Alien Incursion looks like it could be really creepy. What do you think? Let me know in the comments if you would play it, or if you're going to nope out and not want to play it at all. Let's talk about Behemoth now, and we've got a lot more to talk about with this because there's a lot more in the trailer, a lot more interactions. It actually, I'll be honest, it looks nothing like what I thought it was going to look like when we saw the original trailer. And I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. The original trailer was a cinematic. It wasn't actually a trailer. And the feeling of that trailer, in comparison to the feeling of this, is very different in my opinion. I'm not going to say it's bad, just very different. There are obviously big behemoth giant beasts in this, and that's going to be one of the amazing parts to fight with the scale. Hopefully we'll get the Shadow of Colossi feel where you can climb them and destroy them. That would be absolutely epic. Asgard's Wrath 2 had a spot in it that was like that, and it blew my mind, so hopefully this does that too. This hopefully also is more of an open world. Now, I've got a whole actual press release for this. I'm going to read through this. Unlike with Alien Incursion, I have a lot more information for this one, so let's read through it really quickly. I don't know how much of this I'm actually supposed to share, but I will share that it is not a Quest 3 exclusive. It's actually a Quest 2 game as well for Behemoth. I just want to make sure I don't get in trouble. Hold on, let me just make sure I don't have anything in here saying what I can and can't share in this email. Last thing I want to do is get in trouble for releasing details. Fall of 2024, and I've got a huge, long description. Let's kind of break the description down while the trailer plays. It just says, Skydance Games' next monumental offering for the current generation of VR headsets and its follow-up effort to its award-winning The Walking Dead Saints and Sinners franchise. First-person action-adventure title that combines brutal physics-based hand-to-hand combat with player traversal, environmental puzzle solving, and larger-than-life boss battles. Skydance's Behemoth is an original story set in the Forsaken Lands, a medieval region haunted by tragedy. A cursed warrior known as Ren the Hunter, who you play as, rises from their near-death and amnesic state. Ren is charged by a mysterious figure to embark on a perilous but preordained quest to rid the lands of an insurmountable threat, the monstrous behemoths. Armed with an arsenal of limb-tearing weapons, a grappling hook, and a curse that yields supernatural strength, Ren must venture forth and reclaim the realm by slaying the behemoths and exposing their sinister origins. This treacherous journey will bring the warrior to their limits, requiring their wits, skills, and unyielding determination to overcome whatever brutality the Forsaken Lands have in store for them. So that's a very interesting description. It doesn't tell us a lot about the gameplay, but you're seeing some of it on screen here. And there's a breakdown of key features, which I think is very interesting when people do that. It says, a dark fantasy adventure in VR awaits. Desolate realms, treacherous marauders, monstrous behemoths, cursed hero, a harrowing quest to reclaim a once thriving kingdom takes our hero through the brutal conditions and crushing opposition in the Forsaken Lands. Played exclusively through the total immersion of virtual reality, Skydance's Behemoth is an engrossing narrative experience that elevates storytelling and interactivity to new and dreadful heights. Then the next key feature is the behemoths loom large and dangerous. Hazards lurking on ground are only precursors to the gargantuan dangers that threaten from above. Monstrous embodiments of the curse. The behemoths ravage the Forsaken Lands and corrupt the hearts and minds of those who remain there. Where did these abominations come from, and what do their presence mean? To find the answers, Ren must attempt to slay the behemoths on land, in the air, and while scaling their massive tower-like bodies. There you go, scaling. I'm excited for that. Hopefully the climbing is really good too. Climbing is a challenging thing to do in VR right, and I hope they do a really good job with it. Brutal violence solves everything. In the Forsaken Lands, Ren will encounter hostile strangers who aim to end the hero's journey prematurely. Armed with a grappling hook and curse-given super strength, Ren possesses the skill, power, and unyielding resolve to cut down, maim, sever, break, and rip apart all who stand in their way. Precise weapon strokes lead to flesh-cleaving, bone-crunching impact, and clever use of surrounding elements gives way to satisfying, overly violent results. There you go. Overly violent. Skydance Games' next AAA VR experience is here. Creators of benchmark-setting AAA VR experiences, Skydance Games brings its signature creative and technical approach, virtual physicality, to Skydance's Behemoth. Realistic weight, physics, and interaction create a sense of immersion that feels both natural and heightened in all facets of the game. Combat, traversal, puzzle solving, and more, coupled with eye-popping VR visuals and a dark fantasy narrative, Skydance's Behemoth aims to set the bar once again for VR experiences to come. So there you go. That's what they say about the game. But what do we think about the game, right? To me, the behemoths look like the most interesting part. don't get me wrong, I love physics-based sword combat, and this is probably going to be really satisfying if the fighting of the zombies in Saints and Sinners is any indication. The physics of it is going to be really good, and you can tell by the beginning of the trailer where he flips his sword back and forth that they're keeping a lot of those same mechanics. So you could flip the blade back and forth in Saints and Sinners, which I love. I love the fact that you could do silly things like that and kind of feel cool when you're fighting people. So hopefully that kind of sticks around even more. But when it comes to Behemoth, my most anticipated aspect of this is the actual behemoths. You can see two, I think, in this trailer, both of which are totally different and incredibly massive, and I think it's going to make for some pretty amazing boss battles. My hope is that the land is vast and varied, and that it's open, kind of at least semi-open world. Like, I don't want to really go... I assume it's going to be quest-based, but I do hope that it is at least semi-open. So the areas that you are in, you can explore. Kind of like what Saints and Sinners did, but maybe even more open than that, if possible. There'll probably be a base again, just like with Saints and Sinners or something like that, unless it's a complete story and it's linear completely, which I kind of hope it's not, just because I love worlds like this and being able to explore them. We only see a couple of small, really, areas in this trailer. Hopefully there's more varied enemies, varied areas, because, I don't know, to me the trailer looks good, but for some reason, the villains, the bad guys, and the areas, they feel very single tone. I don't know if that's the right word. They're not like, they almost feel flat. And I don't mean that in a bad way, but they look like it could be anything else, any other game. I don't know if that makes sense or not. I'm hoping that I'm just imagining things. The behemoth is what stands out to me in this game anyways. And hopefully the fighting will be really satisfying. I don't know. I've played a lot of sword fighting games, and a lot of games do it good, but a lot of games do it not so good. And I'm just hoping that the combat in this game is consistent with what we want to see in a really good combat game, but the story is also really good. I have faith in them to do a good job, and they've taken their extra time. Walking Dead Saints and Sinners 2 had a lot of problems when it launched at first with visuals and glitches and stuff like that, so I'm hoping that they're ironing out all that stuff before they launch this game. That's my hope. But we'll have to wait and see what happens. Needless to say, I'm extremely excited for both of these, and just talking about them and watching the trailers makes me even more excited. I can't wait to see quest footage. I can't wait until we get more information about both of these games. Both are launching this year, so I'm extremely excited for this holiday season. Plus, we've got other games like Batman coming out, and who knows what else. Hopefully we'll see more very soon. But yeah, I'm really excited. There you go. That's Behemoth and Alien Incursion. Let me know what you think down in the comments. Which of these two are you most excited for? Personally, I'm most excited for Behemoth because I love that kind of style, fantasy stuff. Sci-fi is great too, but Alien terrifies me. Love the movies. Don't know if I'm going to love playing this horrific looking game, although it does look like it'll probably be a lot of fun and hopefully really polished. But let me know what you think down below and which game you're looking forward to playing the most. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe for more VR content, and as always, happy questing.